You planned that.
That just happened.
It's you. On you go. You're in the middle seat today.
Oh my god, I haven't done this in so long. You've
It's
never
nice
done
to
it.
take a back step for once.
Excuse me.
Oh, wait, we need to put predictions. When is Sophie going to get angry? Say, like,
6
here.
minutes. 6-minute mark, I'm saying.
No, because I really enjoyed this book, so I'm not really angry about anything.
I say near the end when we come to
I
choices.
say at minute 55 when my book doesn't
55!
get, when my book doesn't get chosen.
Yeah, again.
55 minutes. You think this is how long that this episode's going to be?
I don't know.
How much have you got to say about this?
I don't know.
Okay, right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Liability Library. I'm Kyle,
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Ella.
and we are your hosts.
I've never done an introduction
I know,
before.
that felt fun.
I like
that.
it though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good fun. This is our... What month is this? God, it's hard to
May.
keep track.
May
May?
Mystery May.
Mystery May.
episode.
Bit of mayhem for yous. Yeah. You not like that? I'll edit that out. That didn't land. No, this is our Mystery May read, which was my suggestion, The Final Hunt, by Audrey J. Cole. So, like our other episodes, we're going to give you the blurb,
Not read by me today.
very professionally delivered by myself. I'm sure this is going to go great and not be...
Can't be worse than
Just
Ella.
lift your larynx when you say
Together.
it. What?
Okay, so, The Final Hunt by Audrey J. Cole. Cameron's husband disappeared on a hunting trip, presumed dead after a bear attack. When she finds photos linking him to a series of serial murders, everything she believed unravels. Stripped of reputation, finally facing the wilderness on her own terms, she has one question. If he was capable of hiding the unthinkable from her, is he really gone?
Dun, dun, dun.
Damn.
That blurb's so much shorter than what I've had to read. I just want to point that out.
Alright, yeah. Okay.
Now, this is the first of 3 books.
Yeah.
There's a sequel, and then there's also a prequel.
Was it
Yep.
released in that order? I don't.
I think I searched it up, and it was released the Final Hunt, the Last Hunt, and then the First Hunt, the prequel, was
Okay.
released last.
That would make more sense after in the epilogue of Final Hunt. It would go to Last Hunt because that made me want to read that one
Yeah.
next.
Also, they have the momentum to bounce off of that, and
Yeah.
then it's like
I
the
think-
success from the finality of the series. They can go back and fill in
Tell the
what
first
people were
story.
I
asking
think as someone who's read all 3 of them,
for. Oh well.
um,
SWAT.
I think if you read the prequel first, it would spoil a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
And like maybe spoil a lot of things, but like there's some things that are revealed in like especially like the second book, The Last Hunt, that like you find out for the first time. And I feel like if you were to read it in the first hunt, it's not like a big, oh, here it is.
Did they call
It's-
back to it and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the whole prequel is basically based on something you find out
Yeah. Okay.
in the second book.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
So I think it's not a massive thing in the second book, but I think if you were then to read the prequel, reading the second book, that won't be much of a revelation.
Yeah.
So original, Final Hunt, Last Hunt, then First Hunt order.
Yeah, I would suggest if you want to read all 3, that's the order you
Well,
read
this
it in.
point might just be for our visual
Watch your
visual
listeners.
audience.
Ah.
Visual audience, so Spotify, etc. Apologies.
Oh, there's
This
okay.
is Ella's compendium of,
It's the
of
brick of
novels.
the entire
and
thing.
it states the Hunt series books 1 to 3, and it has it ordered in the First Hunt, the Final Hunt, the Last Hunt, which structurally, like narratively, that's the order of events in like a linear timeline. But that's not the release order. So if what you're saying is true with it being like, well, the First Hunt actually ties into the final book, why would they release it in this order? Like that's so.
It
that's
was
think
such,
I
really
think-
annoying
I
for
think-
me.
that's such a weird
I
order to
really
release it
don't want to
in.
spoil it. I don't know if the blurb
No,
will
it's
spoil it.
fine, but
Do you want me to basically
I had to
spoil
read it. Can I just write? I had to read it like this, just like, all right, okay, because it's so heavy to
Yeah.
like lift. I
Mhm.
just had to sit and read it like this instead of like how I would normally read. Jesus.
studying the scripture.
But yeah, I don't really care if you spoil it because
Basically,
I'll read it anyway.
in the second book, The Last Hunt, you find out that what's his name? Tom? Is that his name? I can't remember.
Which one?
No, John.
John the
John the-
second ex-husband.
John the husband, who is a serial killer. You find out in the second book that his dad was also a serial killer. At the same time, the Green River Killer was going on, and that's what the prequel is all about.
Oh, okay.
Dexter vibes.
And it's all about John's
the
first
beginning
kills.
of it all. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
Okay.
nice.
So I feel like, spoiler, but I feel like if you then read that first, then the revelation in the second book that you find out that he'd killed this girl in Alaska, like the dad did, and that he was a serial killer as well.
Right.
Then it's like you've just spoiled the
Yeah.
prequel.
The,
I know
the
the-
cool
yeah.
sort
I
of
mean,
reveals
does
and
it
stuff
kind of
later, but
clarify the
yeah.
motive, like John's motive specifically for it, because he never really. Does it
John's
do?
motive is the fact that his dad he
Okay,
grew up
that's what it.
witnessing a serial
Basically, he's just messed up.
killer.
Okay,
He
so there's
thinks
no.
that he,
Weird.
well, imagine your parent was a prolific serial killer who took you along with him to kill these women. Like, would you not think you're going to end up being like that?
I don't know. I'd never really think about.
Well, that's what the prequel. That's what the
That's
prequel's all about,
Yeah.
and it is really good.
On paper,
Mhm.
yeah, because it's a book. No,
Cut that out.
no, but it sounds like a cool concept. Whether or not it's executed in the right way, because I understand via release order, the author might have found it cathartic, or possibly they were advised by their publication team that a prequel would sell well, or maybe it was just a passion project because they enjoyed the character a lot.
I don't. Well, Cameron's not in it.
Well, do you think that
Oh.
this trilogy was planned from the get-go, or do you think they wrote the first book, got the response from critics and audience members, planned the second book, released that, saw the success, and then made the prequel?
I feel like the first
Or
two were
was it all
definitely
planned out?
planned.
Okay.
Yeah, the epilogue of the first one makes you think the second one was planned.
Okay.
But I think the prequel is more of a passion project. I think because the both books are centered around Cameron
Mhm.
and John and his killings. I think, and like you say, there isn't really a reason for John's killings. I think it gives you the backstory as why he is
Mhm.
who he is, and it's also another serial killer story. I don't think it was necessarily she planned to have a prequel. I think it was just because there's also mentions in the second book. There's also mentions of murders that happened in the 90s.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
So I think it's going back to clear that up, so
Yeah.
nothing is left unfinished.
That's cool. Maybe they just were drawn to the character. They had
Mhm.
a really interesting sort of map in their head of that character's journey, which I think is really commendable for a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very easy for people to just be I know it, but the audience don't get to.
I hate
You
that.
know what I mean? That's for me. I know where everyone ends up. I know the ins and outs of their entire life, but that's just for me. I'm glad that they were because based on the way you're talking about it, it sounds like they were excited by this character, by this idea to fuel them into writing the prequel. And I mean based on what you're saying, it sounds like it's an interesting sort of story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably give that a read.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I fully plan on reading both books.
Mhm.
I'm excited to go, and I've started from the middle, going to finish to the end, and then open it at the very beginning again. That's quite a weird way to read a book, but I'm
would
really
like to know
excited to do
though
that.
if the offer, what she suggests the reading order is, because everyone always when
Yeah.
it comes to these sort of
Mm.
things has different reading orders. When you think of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, I've seen about 5 different ways you can read
Mhm.
the order that can be read
But that's
in.
the case as well with cinema as well. People talk about different ways of watching Marvel, Star
Star
Wars,
Wars
all
and
of
stuff.
it.
Yeah, I've heard a
Oh,
lot of
what
stuff
way?
like
You
that.
have to start with the prequels. No, you have to start with release order. And it's well, you could do that with a lot of things these days.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Okay, well, we'll get on to our proper review of
the actual
final.
book.
Let's do it.
Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll start. I love this book. I read it in one day because I couldn't put it down, and it was very fast paced. I thought. I thought the character Cameron was very interesting. I slightly found it unbelievable when she got on a snowmobile and managed to make it up these terrible terrains and across the land and got bit by a wolf, but didn't really get bit by a wolf. I felt like that became slightly fantasy.
Yeah, but
And
too
that's-
many fantastical elements.
Yeah, a bit too many, like, I
You're
get it's
too
obviously
Wonder
not a
Woman-esque.
real serial killer, but it's written in a way that it really could be real.
If
And
the
then
rest
when
of the novel's grounded, these cinematic moments take you out of the
yeah,
the
I felt
world.
that's exactly what I felt like. It was very like I was trying to picture it in my head, and I was like, I can see this happening in a film, and it would visually look really good. But this girl is a dentist
Yeah, she's
who
not.
didn't like her husband did the adventure stuff. She
Mhm.
didn't. She had her little cabin in the woods. Who didn't really do that sort of stuff like adventure and that. She was terrified about the fact that she was having to land she has a plane, like a pilot license, good for her. But she was terrified at the fact that she had to land on this ice, even though she was promised multiple times it's sturdy enough, it's completely solid. But she was still terrified about that fact. I was like, oh, can I do it? Can I do it? But then you're absolutely okay with getting on a snowmobile, going up these mountains, like crashing, getting chased by wolves. Like it was very like cinematic, and it took me out at the moment. That's why like that was the only part of the book that kind of I was like, I get why she's doing it, because he needs to live somewhere that's like
And
really hidden and far away.
They
but,
were like
Remote,
really
yeah.
short chapters of like ridiculous adventure that I was kind of like, okay,
Mhm.
I can really get through these last few
Uh-huh.
bits. I'm like, oh.
like I felt like that was the only part of the book was like, was it necessary?
It kind
Did I need to
of
read it?
reminded me of the structure of like a video game. You know what I mean? Like, you have this character who has this like, I don't know, like maybe people that are watching, like Alan Wake, where you have these like set pieces that are very large scale, but you're dealing with a protagonist that wouldn't fit in those scenarios. And although it's cool to experience, it's like I know what you mean, like the landing of the plane, and then it's all these elements that like don't fit the characteristics that you've portrayed earlier in the novel, but all of a sudden they're just really good at doing it. You know what I mean? Like you're just like
It's like that chosen one trope, kind of like.
everything just works out
oh.
for them.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm in reflection good at picking things apart. The viewers might
Mhm.
have spotted that, but like in the moment, I can, for my own personal enjoyment of a book, suspend my disbelief to an extent. I can be like, okay, well that's just how it worked out for them. Because I mean, like, there are times in our own lives, I'm sure, where we've like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, maybe not to the extent that we see in the book, but you know what I mean. Like, nobody would believe me if I told them about that, and I understand that. But part of it feels like, I don't know, like if the author has hopes of maybe getting like a film or a television adaptation or something, they need these elements for the production, so it's not just like
She
A
arrived
to
there.
B. Yeah,
Mm.
it's something to add stakes to the story, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Further stakes to the story.
I just think it just didn't like for the genre. It just was a bit out of the blue. Like I think
Yeah.
if I was reading a fantasy book, like you say, the chosen one who just knows how to do everything, you'd that's what you're expecting when it comes to fantasy. I could never like if I ever think, oh, I'd love to go into this world. I'd die. I'd die in a second if I went in
Yeah,
Akatar.
done for.
Like, there's no way that I'm killing a wolf and living with the high fairies. Like, do you know what I mean? I would be killed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, like, these chosen ones, they're not, and they survive, and they go through all this hardship, and like that's what you expect from fantasy books. So then, when you read it, something very kind of the similar lines of that, and like a normal kind of like book, it's a bit like it throws you a bit. You're like, oh,
Mm.
okay. I mean, good for you, girl.
I have a question for you, Sophie.
Yes.
How long did it take you to realise that Simon wasn't a good person and he was unreliable?
He always seemed iffy to me. Like the whole like let me like he just always seemed very in our life. But I don't
You're on a
think.
beige flag, Karen.
When did I find
The
out?
minute he started being like, "Oh, I never told you this," I was like, "Right, well, you are the bad guy in this circumstance right now." He was.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was until the wife admitted that she and her like it was revealed that Cameron and Simon's wife went to dinner that night, and then they didn't know where Simon was. I was like, oh well, clearly he has something to do with this, which is quite far. I told you my brain shuts off.
That seems fishy.
Yeah, that was
She's
me.
like,
That was me.
Huh.
I was like, so where was Simon that night? I was like, aha.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You know what? That's earlier than I thought you would.
Exactly.
But I'm still concerned.
I was never fully trusting of him, but like I never like. I think because you get so like into her in Alaska and everything that's going on in Alaska, you forget that she's been like suspected to be assisting with it. Like you forget that someone assisted with it. So then for a long time when you're like in Alaska, I forgot that was a thing.
For context, it was when literally he went, Cameron, why are you saying stuff? Stop handing stuff in. Stop it. And then he went, oh, I didn't tell you, remortgaged our houses. And I'm like, oh, so you helped him. You probably killed them too. Literally was like, you're guilty. Which was the first day I read it. Like, started reading it.
Well, I read it in one day, so I didn't have time to process that, okay?
Maybe you should take your time a bit more.
I just enjoyed reading, okay?
Oh, she's going to get angry.
You're just
What's the
doing this to wind
timestamp?
Sophie
I
up. You're
am.
literally just like prodding the bear.
I'm just gonna sit here and breathe
Poking
for a
the
minute.
wolf.
Right, okay. Someone else do a review.
Oh, that was really scary, both of you looked. Do you want to go? Go. I just annoyed Sophie.
I don't have very much to say about like specific moments in the book for me. I think a lot of it worked. I think I had similar issues to you, Sophie, where like parts of the story didn't fit for me. It felt like not two different stories, but like two different character types out of nowhere. There was no real setup for that. But I did enjoy the characters. I think I enjoyed the characters more in this than I did for the inmate. I don't know if that's like a something people would agree with or something.
Yeah.
But it's just like my personal opinion. But other than that, like maybe I need to read the other two to
Well,
really get
as
the
you're
most out
as
of
you're
this
saying
series,
that
like,
you really like the characters, I think reading the next book, like you'll learn to love them even more.
okay, because I'm interested in that because obviously you've read all of them.
read one.
You've read one. I'm the same as you, but I'd be interested to see like where the story takes them. You know,
Yeah.
it's engaged me enough to want to read a sequel. Is what I mean. And whether or not the next one will engage me enough to want to read a prequel about one of the characters, we'll soon see.
Well, everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah, but overall, I had a fun time. I wouldn't say it's like the best book I've ever read,
No.
but no, I did enjoy myself overall. I didn't read it in one day or like overly fast compared to my mother. I had a very casual sort of.
I had a deadline.
It was like it was like a passive sort of reading of it. Like I didn't feel any pressure to like get it done. It was sort of like my downtime activity for when I was finishing up with work. I'd be like, okay, well I'll read a few pages here. I'll maybe take it to my work with me, you know, like on my break and just stuff like that. So like it was a very enjoyable experience reading this book. I did find it difficult to like put it down at some points, being like, well, I'm on a time crunch, I can't keep reading. But then I was enjoying certain parts where it's like, well, where's this gonna go? Will I be able to keep up with the momentum going back into it, like putting it down? It wasn't a very long book, so like I very well could have like just bashed out like a good amount of it, but I didn't necessarily feel the pressure to.
I didn't plan to read it in one day.
Yeah,
Like I had finished Hopeless by Elsie Silver on like the last day of April with 15 minutes of the night to go, and I had my Kindle with me and I was like, oh, I really want to keep reading, so I was like, right, I'll start this book. And it was like 1 a.m. I read about 20 pages, like, right, I've got uni tomorrow. Went to bed, got on the train to uni, got right into it. I had an hour before class, so I read for an hour in uni, and then got the train home, read for another hour, and then by the time I got home I actually had like 30% left to read.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm gonna bash this out right now. Like
just locked in.
I just locked in that day with reading, to be honest. unplanned.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna have so much more free time now.
I know.
So excited.
I'm already on my 4th book of the month.
My
This is my
hobbies
last
are
day of
back.
uni, I'm like,
my
yay.
hobbies are back. Free time. The prison sentence is over. Yeah.
So Ella, what did you think about the book?
I think I had very similar opinions to both of you. Like I genuinely did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I had it. It wasn't a difficult read. I didn't like scratch my head going, "This doesn't make sense." Like the very heavy adventure scenes, I was going, bit unrealistic, but okay. I just kind of accepted it because sometimes you do just have to go, all right. I think the one thing that I was just like, oh, and I guess it kind of gets a bit more covered over in the other books, is John's motive. I was like, I know he's still alive. That's not a mystery to me. I have a feeling Simon's connected to this. So why I need to know why he's specifically the teacher killer. Why is he marketed as a teacher killer? What's the motive for teachers? What's the teacher done to him? Like, that's what I was like, oh, that's my mystery.
I got bad grades in my national
I
five.
think I don't know if it's the second book that's revealed in, but I'm pretty sure it's that the final hunt is revealed in the fact that his first ever killing that they've linked it back to was his like English teacher in school, and it was revealed. It was very an offhand comment, so I would get.
I think it was
overpassing
something like
but it was
sexually
revealed-
harassed or something like that. But then I was
but it was revealed that the teacher was known for like being inappropriate with
Yeah.
students.
But then that doesn't connect to all the rest of them because none of the others have
But then
any
that's
sort
his-
of like, oh,
that's
they're
his
that.
trigger.
It's just like, oh, I don't like teachers now. And I think that to me, I was like, oh, if it was serial killers for all bad like teachers that have been known for doing that, I was like, okay, I see that pattern. But it was
think
that
that's
kind
what
of
the
like you're just
prequel dives
killing
into.
teachers because they're teachers. That I was like, that's not the right kind of same motive.
I may be completely off with this, but I understand what you're saying, Sophie, where it's like that first initial kill, it was done out of an act of like almost protection in a way, like you hear these sort of rumors and he does it, and then that's the trigger in his mind where it's like, oh, and it's always like filling that void. The other times he's not hunting bad teachers necessarily. He's not like an anti-hero who's like doing this to like rid the world of these bad people. It's almost like trying to get the feeling back of that first you know, like it's like chasing the high of that first time, you know, like
But I think that's with a lot of like serial
Yeah,
killer
you
cases.
see
You
those
see
sort
like
of
their
things
first
where it's
kill
like-
tends to be like they're doing it for a reason, like and it's like the same pattern of the same type of person, like the way they look or something.
yeah, I've seen a lot of people compare it to like heroin use, where it's like that first hit is so euphoric.
Where have you been talking to serial killers?
No, like I've seen it, like I have I have Substack
serial
now,
killers have a meeting together.
which I thoroughly enjoy, and there's some great articles there that I've been reading, and there's one that was like a lot of heroin addicts hate taking heroin, but the first time taking it was such a euphoric and life-changing experience that they're constantly chasing that feeling again, but it's never it's never the same, and that's why they keep doing it, for the hope of this time it'll be different, or this time it'll feel the same. And I guess that's sort of hand in hand with like the feeling of certain serial killers, where they get so invested in the type of person that they're wanting to kill, like in relation to their first victim. They're like, that's how they develop an MO, like they hunt people like men with brown hair or girls with glasses, you know, like all of these characteristics that remind them of their first victim, because they want to feel the same way they did when taking that first life.
So there you go, Ella.
It's that aspect
That
of
was- yeah, sorry.
the connection to it. Cameron's no golden child in this circumstance. Like,
No.
Cameron has murdered someone as well,
Mhm.
but you kind of see past it because you go, oh well, she was abused and that, and like you almost do sympathize with her because it was her only way out. If you were to take it and make John almost the same, kind of that anti-hero of he's murdering people who are dangerous to children, teachers, teacher killer. Oh well, actually it turns out all these teachers are not good teachers, they're harming students. You would then almost have that kind of sadistic side of John going, well, Cameron, we are the same. We are the same. We do it because we have no
I
choice.
think
And like you see that more psychotic.
I think that's why
perspective.
the author maybe made that decision, though, because you have like two characters that were put in similar circumstances at the beginning, just different, of course, but
Yeah.
one had that ability to control themselves and not feel the need or the desperation to go back to that feeling. It was like a simple, like, it was a one time, maybe different in the sequels, maybe there's information that I'm not dealing with, but it's to show the difference between the two characters, where one became almost obsessive with it after that first sort of instinct, and then you have the other side of the spectrum where it's like they can almost relate to how they would have felt in that first moment, but they don't feel that same urge, so it sort of makes him more of like a villain, because it's very easy if they both experienced it, they could almost like downplay the events. If it was like both only killed one people, they both felt sorry for it, then you don't have a villain or an antagonist. You have someone that can relate to the villain, but also be like, you've taken things too like this, you've gone too far, and blah 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 blah. You know?
I get what Ella's saying. Like, if he was only killing bad people, like the same way she was, like,
because then she kills John. She is responsible for his death.
yeah, but the whole story would change.
It would, but
completely.
I just think
like,
that kind of sadistic,
and
like, you
the
would
rest
see
of the
his
story
breaking
wouldn't
point.
go the way that it would. Like, you wouldn't get a prequel and a sequel out of that.
Would you
It
not?
feels
Okay.
like it would come into like a Bonnie and Clyde sort of thing, where they go off to get like natural born killers, but
Yeah,
like
uh-huh.
saving the day against inappropriate teachers.
Because the whole second book is basically after she goes and kills John, there's like 2 other women are killed
All right. Okay.
in a similar way, not exactly the way he used to do it, but in a similar way that match people in the 90s who were murdered. And it's trying to find out, okay, who did those ones? Is it the same person or is it a copycat?
Right.
And I'm trying not to spoil things for you guys. 'Cause
No,
I know
that's
you're gonna
fair.
read it. I just feel like if that was the reason,
It was.
why
It's not even
Cameron's
like.
whole thing in the second book would also change.
Okay. It was
Like,
just that idea that like
I
he
get the
doesn't.
idea,
It's
yeah.
not that Cameron sees him different.
Mm-hmm.
It's that he sees him and what he's doing and what Cameron had done. He sees them the same,
But
and it's just his mindset.
I
It
would
wasn't
say he does
really.
see them the same. Because
He does,
say
but
to her,
it's
we're
more-
we're both alike. Like, because at the end of the day, murder is murder.
Murder is
And that's
murder.
what he
100%.
sees
Yeah.
whether or not there's a good reason or not behind it. He sees if you kill someone, you're a killer,
Okay.
and I think that is kind of revealed,
Yeah.
like,
Fair.
in that book. Because he's very, when you read the prequel, he's very placid about the whole
Okay.
killing thing. Like when he's a child, like when he's like 10 and he sees it for the kind of first time, he is very like, oh my god, like he pees himself and everything. Like he's very like scared. But then as he grows up, you see the fact that growing up in that environment,
You
it's like,
yeah.
it is what it is. I'll just go and kill this gal.
Oh, it's like media today though. A lot of younger generation are quite unfazed by what actually is happening in the world.
Desensitized. to the horrors of
Desensitized. That's the
war.
word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I guess that's what the pickle's about. It, the desensitization
Yeah.
of that to John.
See, that's
That's
interesting.
that's interesting. I like
That's
that.
Well, not cool.
No, but it's a good story.
It's not just about that. There's it's basically it's told from the main perspective of, I can say, they're Holly Sparks, who's like a crime reporter, and she's trying to figure out her sister's killer.
That's pretty cool.
But because you've got the Green River killer on at the same time killing, John's dad is also like killing in a similar way
Uh-oh.
to mask
Ignore me.
his killings.
Don't ignore me. We can quickly edit this
Right,
out.
what is it?
So I just need to Google something.
Yeah.
We can edit all this out.
What is it? Tell us.
I'm gonna quickly Google it to fact check myself, but I'm pretty sure.
It's when you said Green River, he like.
Yeah, the Green River killer was like a real serial
Ah,
killer
yeah,
in
I
real
think he
life.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he is.
But are they okay?
Are
Yeah.
they, do you know if they're linked?
Because I know that Ted Bundy was like heavily involved in the case of catching the Green River killer.
Oh, Ted Bundy's not in it.
No, no.
Oh, well, technically, the book doesn't end with them being caught.
Ooh.
The Green River killer's never caught in this book.
Because the idea is that the Green River killer was like somehow evading the police, so they turned to an already incarcerated Ted Bundy to like gauge his feeling on the case. Like they
Mhm.
start bringing him case files and like, this is the guy's MO, this is what's going on, could you help us catch him? And they done a film about it, which was very bad. But and just when something clicked in my head, I haven't thought about that since like 2016. So for some reason I was like, row.
Yeah. Well, you don't find out in the prequel.
Okay.
We
If
can
they-
edit all
if-
this
if
out 'cause it
they-
doesn't make a lick of sense.
Mm, that's true.
Yeah.
But they don't find out if they what do you call it? Who the murderer is.
Got
Alright.
you. Got you.
Spoiler.
Right. Does anyone else have anything else to
No.
say?
I do think overall it was a really good book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I thought all three of them were really good. They were all fast paced, interesting in their own way. I never felt like especially like with the like reading a first book and then reading sequels and stuff. Sometimes you can feel like, was this necessary, or is
Yeah.
this as good as first?
It's
I thought,
such a
I
hit or a
thought-
miss with sequels.
Exactly. I thought the sequel was better. I rated it higher than the
Wow.
last
I
one.
love when it does
Nice.
that.
'Cause it builds
Genuinely.
off your ideas
Mhm.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought it was
really cool.
really good. It was more believable in aspects.
Okay.
Cool. Well, will we get into our ratings
Yeah.
for the final hunt? I'm,
Okay.
I'm very excited, I guess.
Got that
I
out.
rated it 3.5 stars.
Ooh.
I also rated it 3.5 stars.
I also rated it 3.5
Wow.
stars.
That has never happened
That's
before.
our first time.
I
yeah.
think we all no, but I think we all kind of had just the same thought process with
Yeah.
it. We thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it
That's
was
what's said on
easy
the
to
tin.
read.
You know,
Okay, so Liability Library stamps the final hunt as 3.5 stars.
I like that.
Woo.
Stamps at 3.5. That's good.
Get a wee
I like
Could
that.
stamp
could you
there.
could you
Not
edit
good.
that into post?
no. No. Right. Well, we're gonna do a bit of a different sort of.
Okay.
All
People
right.
downstairs
Start that again.
will have a panic.
Rigging got crushed. Right, so we're gonna do it a bit differently this episode to decide our next book, because we were sat here and we were like, we've been picking themes for like these different sort of months, and
Maybe doing alliteration, like
I
Yeah,
really
we-
like
we
Murder
were
it.
doing
Mystery
like-
May.
we were
and
just like scratching
anything
our heads.
else.
What
and
rhymes with June or like alliteration with a J?
we couldn't agree on anything, so we were like, you know what? Let's just do 2 spin wheels. We'll throw a whole bunch of genres into the first one, spin that, and then we'll go away. We'll cut camera. We'll cut the podcast, and then come back with a couple of selections for the chosen genre.
for the final spin.
And
for
maybe
the- for
Sophie
the
will
final
win.
Spin, and then Sophie won't win, and Sophie will be forced to read a book that they didn't pick for the 150,000th time.
But do you know what? I was saying this to other people that I've literally convinced like 3 other people already to read this book,
Uh-oh.
Oh well.
This
there you
one?
go.
The Final Hunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
But one thing I was saying is like I am so glad that we're doing this podcast because I never would have picked that up.
No,
I'd
See,
never
I didn't
heard
know
of
it
it.
existed.
Thinking,
I
like,
would never
there's
have
some
picked it
books
up.
that yeah.
I've never even heard of it. I've never heard of that author. No offense, but like
Gagged.
I wouldn't have read that. Maybe years later, but I wouldn't have read it
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
And
No, I know what
I
you mean. I'm
absolutely
quite
loved it.
similar in
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
so I think it is really important to take suggestions from other people as much as I want to read my own books. I also enjoy reading books that you guys suggest because there you go. I've just found 3 books that I had a really great time reading. Are you alright?
No, so there's a guy's just fucking chowing into an apple in my peripheral vision.
Apple. I thought that was a donut.
No, I think it's an apple because he's just going to town on that thing.
I thought it was like a cake.
God damn.
I was just having a very moment there. And you
I'm so
interrupted
sorry.
it.
I'm
No,
so
I've
sorry.
actually I've been looking
He's
at it
just
as
going-
well.
He's just going to town on that per apple.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's going.
Right, to the spin wheel,
Got that.
please.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Kyle, since it was your
Screen
suggestion to do
recording,
it,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, let's
you
do
can
it.
do it.
Spinning for genre.
I'm scared.
I'm actually quite
There's a
scared it
few
will be
that-
classic.
There's a few in mind that I'd quite like it to be.
Yay! No.
Oh, I
Oh.
wanted it to be fantasy. Okay.
Me and Sophie are both
well.
like fancy.
It is.
Romance. Sorry. Do it again. Cut me
Got
out.
a bit of a high pitched voice. there.
And the genre is.
Romance.
Okay, can we actually just use my one? That was ridiculous.
What was your one?
Just romance. He went romance.
Romance.
Okay, so we are going to pause this now and come back to you with
I'm
a
gonna
couple of
Couple of
suggestions and a new
suggestions,
spin
yeah.
wheel.
Boy,
Right.
oh boy. Let's do it.
That was good. Well done.
Thank you.
I wasn't ready to. I didn't realise I counted
Thanks
us
a
in.
lot.
Okay, and so we're back.
How's it going?
We have all picked 2 books each to add to the spin wheel. I have added First Time Caller and Things We Never Got Over.
I have added Once You're Mine and Better Than the Movies.
And I have suggested Story of My Life and what was my other one? The Long Game.
Right. Who wants to spin
I
it?
should preface this now at the end of the
Sophie.
episode, which is quite funny. I have been sick this whole time. I'm like so tired and so not like sick,
Oh.
but like
We're supposed to go
so
book shopping after this.
oh no,
You can
I'm
go
gonna be,
home.
I'm gonna be going book shopping.
No, nothing can stop him from the book
nothing,
shopping.
nothing can hold me back. I'll be there with bells on.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Got that out.
Yeah,
Are we ready?
then we. That's me. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I can't remember who needs to spin.
I'll do it.
I think we've been trying to get Sophie to do it so that maybe she'll win.
Here we go.
Please, please, please.
Not Sophie, not Sophie, not Sophie, not Sophie, not Sophie.
Similar to Sophie not getting a book pick, we're reading The Long Game. See you next month.